Natalia Abrams is president and founder of the Student Debt Crisis Center, whose mission is to spark policy change to end student debt. What a great mission you have. Great. Thank you so much for joining us, Natalia. So you just heard the White House press secretary there saying President Biden understands the financial burden of these loans. I do as well. I mean, I was saddled with, tens of thousands of dollars of debt out of university. But you say that even as officials have met, they've met with activists and advocates like you, but you're saying what's needed is a meeting between the president and actual borrowers. You think that'll make the difference?
Yes. So as the press secretary said, the president says he understands, but we want to make sure he knows it to be true. The common themes that we're hearing from borrowers is uncertainty, anxiety, and guilt. There are so many questions surrounding this payment pause ending at the end of this month. We're one pay period away from payments resuming. And I just, if he either needs to make the decision now or meet with borrowers to make the correct decision. Because, Mr. President, we need you to cancel student debt, to go bold, to be automatic, and have no applications or cumbersome process for borrowers to jump through.
I want to talk about debt cancellation in just a minute, Natalia, but I want to hear more about what some of these students and these borrowers have told you about the debt burdens and how it impacts their daily lives. Yeah. And what exactly is it? So they want debt cancellation, but in terms of an extension, I mean, how much longer would help?
We have been polling borrowers all throughout the pandemic, and borrowers are just not ready to pay. Some say they'll never be ready to pay. I don't know how long. Every month it gets more difficult with inflation. I know this month was a little better, good, but with the price at the gas pump, the price of groceries, and let's be clear, borrowers are using this temporary pause to pay off debts, to buy groceries, to pay for their children's medication. I don't know of student loan borrowers going on lavish vacations and, abusing that privilege. They need to have some clarity. We've had, I believe, 6 extensions now, and the payment pause extension is not policy. We need lasting, meaningful policy so people can move on with their lives.
Policy meaning canceling debt. So how much debt, and how do you apply it in a fair way that anyone who has debt can feel like it was meaningful? Because there are some who went to private school and have a 6-figure debt versus those who only have in quotations $15,000 debt.
Right. I know it's sad that we say only with 15. We need to cancel as much debt as we possibly can. And while income limits may seem fair, they cause applications. And that application process, as we've seen time and time again with repayment programs, with public service loan forgiveness, with the Corinthian college students, they fail borrowers all the time, especially borrowers that need it the most.
What about tackling the cost of college? When I was in college many years ago, it was expensive. But I mean, nowadays, I'm sitting down with my husband planning our children's future, and we're doing the math on how much it would cost even for them to go to a public university, and it's mind-boggling. Should we be talking about lowering the cost of college, or making it free in many more cases?
Yes, absolutely. That's the next step. First, we're going to cancel student debt. Then we need to tackle the cost of college, or else we'll be in this issue or this almost $2 trillion crisis again. So both need to happen to solve the student debt crisis, but this is the one that's first up.
Have you gotten any sense from the people you've been talking to, what President Biden will decide in terms of at least the extension?
Well, we have heard reports, I think we're all hearing the same reports, that the student loan juggernaut or system has not been turned on yet. Borrowers have not been notified about repayment. So reading between the lines or reading the tea leaves, it seems very unlikely, but I can't say that and give people comfort. The president has to come out and say that. That's the only way borrowers are going to have comfort. And trust me, the tears and the fears are palpable from the borrowers we speak to in the last few weeks, saying the very first question is, what is going on September 1st?
Yeah,
Do I have to take money out of my account. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that uncertainty has to be unnerving for sure, because, you know, it's your livelihood. Natalia Abrams, we're going to leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Amara.